It's the second of the 12th, 2024. The time is 22 minutes past 9. And this Qatar Grand Prix, the fallout from, gets techier than techie things. You deep dive, start to peel back the layers of the onion, and you realise that Maximilian Verstappen's performance might have been even more extraordinary than we first thought. The context is this: that Max, during the drivers' parade, and George Russell of Kings Lynn, Norfolk, had themselves an altercation. Max leveraged at King George Russell the following: look at what you and your fudging FIA friends have done as far as taking away my pole, giving me a penalty that I did not deserve. 17 times infringements of this ilk happened at Las Vegas and nobody got punished. Nobody even got investigated nor reprimanded. And you want to give me this? Look at what you and your little snaky friends have done. King George Russell of Kings Lynn, Norfolk. Full on, fully fledged altercation, and Max Verstappen doubled down, didn't he? And told George Russell, here's what's going to happen in the Grand Prix. Going into turn one, I'm going to nail you up the inside and you won't see which way I went. And what did Maximilian Verstappen do? Exactly that. Like the mailman, this dude always bloody delivers. We're going to have to start calling him Mystic Max. Again, puts out the predictions and delivers upon it. And then you get Lando Norris post-race, all upset, missed the glass half full as per usual. Full of racecraft pre-race, full of nothing post-race, all talk and zero walk. Post-race, Lando Norris had this to say when questioned about yellow flag gate. He was like, listen, I'm not stupid. If I made a mistake, I made a mistake. Maybe I just didn't see the flag. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Well, herein lies again the difference between the good ones and the great ones. Because when you see, I'll challenge you, I would put forth this supposition this way. Go back and watch the onboard footage of Lando Norris seeing this yellow flag. He got 2 bites at the cherry. He got a very quick flash of the yellow light, and then shortly thereafter he would have seen double, or should have seen, double waved yellow flags going in to turn one. And of course this is by dint of Alex Albon's rear wing, or wing mirror even, that was on the track that the FIA failed. They took 3 laps in order to act. Of course, what else would you expect from the FIA at this juncture? But that's neither here nor there. Lando Norris, 2 bites at the cherry for the avoidance of doubt. He saw himself a cheeky light just in vista out of his peripheral vision. That's your first bite at the cherry, Lando Norris. Your second bite was further going into turn one. You would have seen the double waved yellows, or at least you should have. Lando Norris, by virtue of his response post-race, is saying he saw neither. Too focused on the straight, too focused on braking zones and other things, too focused on how he was going to hit his apex into turn one. And for noddy muggles like me and you, very small F1 brains, that's what I would do. That's an excusable thing. But again, there is a line between the good ones and the very great ones, epitomised, no, summarised in this instance. Because what did Maximilian Verstappen do? Do you think he had 2 bites at this cherry as far as these double waved yellows? No, he did not see the lights, because he got to the braking zone of turn one too quickly, didn't he, for them to give him 2 bites at the cherry, just like what Lando Norris got. No, Maximilian Verstappen got 1 bite at the cherry, and that was the double waved yellows in the very corner of his eye. Maximilian Verstappen, however, because he's one of the goatiest ones and has this racing awareness unlike many others in F1 history, he spotted the double waved yellow flags and acted accordingly. Did one of these if we were in karting, and pulled back off the throttle just to let the stewards and the FIA realise, the race director know, that he had seen the danger and was acting accordingly. This dude is operating at a different level, misses nothing, notwithstanding the fact that he's in the heat of battle, has a fire-breathing Lando Norris in an ostensibly quicker car breathing down his neck. It matters nothing for Max Verstappen because he doesn't miss. Again, and he leverages down, doubles down on this even, because again, that's an opportunity to see what Lando Norris is doing. He barely spotted the double waved yellow flags. So let me see what Lando Norris is doing. Let me have a check in my wing mirror to see if he's closer to me post the yellow flags than he was before. And of course he was. The delta was 1.7 seconds before the yellow flags. Afterwards, it was something like 1.2. Max Verstappen immediately gets on the radio to race engineer GP and says, have a look at Lando. I think he's closed up in the yellows. Make sure he lifted. And true to form, Mystic Max gets it right again because Lando Norris did not lift. Ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing with a different dude in Max Verstappen. Very rarely is he subject to weakness or Achilles heel. That being said, he did make a cheeky mistake, didn't he? After second restart, planted his foot too much, snap oversteer, and Lando Norris was in prime position to take advantage, to seize victory for once from the jaws and maws of another Max Verstappen defeat. But how did that work out for Lando? Even in the most adverse of occasions and instances, yet again, Maximilian does what Maximilian does, turns it around. Lando Norris should absolutely have nailed Max Verstappen off the restart into turn one, but Max defends so aggressively as if his life depended on it, nailing, hugging the inside line, the white inside line, such that Lando Norris has absolutely nowhere to go but the outside. And for the avoidance of doubt, Max Verstappen has told you already on a gazillion occasions, not least most recently on an interview with Andrew Benson, you will not overtake me around the outside. Why? Because purely and simply, ladies and gentlemen, that's just how I race. Line in the sand settings. Good luck, the other 19, beating that fella here on in. But I digress.